The WBC demands respect from Nedal Hussein. No. The nerve.
Push the weight and now flex. The live is 1 in the 6. Fit the runner, boy, you nigga, no question. You will run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm an 88 pack nigga. I'm an 88 pack nigga. I mean, day walker, drink blood, fangs out, full moon, motherfucker change like a hoe. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for the money.
Drew Titan Bronx on deck. Shout out to mighty LDBC, man. There's no article about this. This is just something that's on my mind. Salute to our brother Nedal Hussein, Skinny Hussein from Australia. For those of you that don't know, or if you're a fly-by-nighter, if you're just getting to know the sport, or if you want to be educated to a degree, the brother on the left is Nedal Skinny Hussein from Australia. The reason why there's a picture of Manny Pacquiao in the middle is because this man knocked out Manny Pacquiao with a jab. It's on YouTube. I'm not going to play any clips here because, YouTube is real funny. Knocked this man out. Knocked him out. And what happened was, in that fight, there was an official there named, what was this guy's name? Carlos Padilla. You can Google him. Carlos Padilla is a referee. He's Filipino. He actually refereed the Thriller in Manila between Ali and Frazier. That was him. So he reffed this fight between Nedal Hussein and Manny Pacquiao years ago. Goddamn, like about 22 years ago now. Yeah, it's been that long. If you watch the fight on YouTube, Manny was stopped with a jab. And it was a long count. And there was a lot of things going on in that fight. The fight was stopped due to a cut or accidental headbutt, if I remember correctly. But all in all, Nedal was robbed. He was robbed. And it was blatant. It was blatant. Nedal was robbed. And for years, that stuck with him. And he tried to do what he did by way of the pen and paper, like, yo, look, this wasn't right. And nothing was done. Manny Pacquiao went on to have a wonderful career. It's a Hall of Fame career. Fought a bunch of $1 million fights. Put the Philippines on the map as far as boxing is concerned. To my knowledge, outside of the Thriller in Manila, that was the only thing to talk about in the Philippines until Manny Pacquiao burst on the scene. And then we have the likes of our brother Nonito Donaire, but Manny Pacquiao was that guy. But prior to that, our brother Nedal Hussein stopped this dude. And Manny Pacquiao was stopped prior to that, if I'm not mistaken. Before or after, I forget, but Nedal was one of the guys that stopped him, but was robbed. He was robbed of his moment. And I always tell people, mess around. If they get that call right, I don't know, we may have been talking about Floyd Mayweather versus Nedal Hussein. But that one moment, Nedal was robbed of his moment, and it's not right. Now imagine being on the side of the coin saying, you know what, that wasn't right, man. Nedal got robbed. There was no internet, like no YouTube back then. There was no no social media to the degree that it exists today. But he protested and he just let it go, but it bothered him. Fast forward to very recently. Carlos Padilla gets inducted to the Hall of Fame, and he sits in front of a camera and he starts talking about the Nedal Hussein Manny Pacquiao fight in which he officiated, and he admits that he basically prolonged the count and stopped the fight and gave it to Manny Pacquiao off of the cut. Gave it to Manny Pacquiao due to the pressure of it being a Filipino crowd. Pull up the interview with Carlos Padilla. And they still inducted him into the Hall of Fame after he admitted 22 years later for cheating for Manny Pacquiao. That's what he did. He cheated. I blew a gasket listening to that. Nedal was in the middle of it. He was like, oh, hell no. You still let this guy into the Hall of Fame? His family stood in the pocket and said, I'm talking about Carlos Padilla's family stood in the pocket and said, no, well, he's old. And, no, I don't care. He knows what he's talking about. So then we go to the WBC, Mauricio Sulaiman. Nedal is going back and forth with them. I don't know what the last conversation that they had, but the brother sends me a screenshot on Instagram just yesterday. And listen, when you've been done an injustice, it's like 22, 23 years later, and you're asking questions, you've been getting to run around all these years. A bit of etiquette can go out the window. It's 23 years now, man. So Nedal sends me this. He says something. I don't know what he said to the WBC, but this was their response. Hello, Nedal. If you want to have a conversation, we'll happily do so, but you have to bring respect and education. If you start by sending us offensive stuff, we don't have to listen to you. Okay. Take a week off and start again. We'll read you. I'm reading the house. We'll read you again in a week if you want to do this properly. Okay. Watch this. That's what he screenshot me. He sent it to me. Okay. Now watch this, man. You already know how I feel about the WBC. Now, I don't know what he said. He might have called, he might have DM'd them and F-bombed them. But you know what? You got to eat that. Y'all got to eat that. The WBC I'm talking about. Y'all got to eat that. You know why? Be nice for what? Do y'all know what y'all put this man through? Do y'all know what y'all stolen from this man? And I'm talking about the business as a whole. Because when somebody doesn't get it done, somebody else has to step in and say, no, it's not right. Y'all can't do this. Boxing is the wild, wild west. You got different sanctioning bodies doing different things. Once Padilla admitted that he cheated this man, the least they could have done was rule it a no contest. It wouldn't have affected Manny either way. Rule it a no contest. Do that for him. Do something. Give him some money. Do something. That one moment offset his career. You know what that does to these guys that give their life to this sport? And what does WBC says? Talk to me nice. Nice for what? Where are those franchise status, Mauricio? Where they at? Where'd they go? There was 3 of them. There was one of those straw weights. There was one down there. I forgot who had it. But Canelo was the first one invented so he didn't have to fight Jamal Charlo like 6 years ago. The third one was invented for specifically Vasily Lomachenko to dodge Devin Haney. They're dumping those real belts with the history so they don't have to fight their mandatories. And now they're gone. Where are they? They were there just enough to cause confusion. And you got rid of them. So when you have these athletes that are in the middle of the nonsense, me as a supporter of the sport, it's confusing. There's too many belts. The silver, the regular, the interim, the ring. Listen, man. And when Deontay came along and said one face, one name, y'all laughed at him and ridiculed him. So now you have a guy who could have been in Manny Pacquiao's position had they got that call right. One instance, probably, I'm not saying he would have, one instance probably offset his career in another direction. And he's doing okay. He ain't starving to my knowledge, but he's still out there looking for respect and an apology at least. And what does they say? What does the WBC respond to him? Talk to me nice. Talk to me nice. Do you have any idea what you guys have done to these fighters? Do you have any idea? Joseph Ekbeko versus Abner Rares. Go watch that fight. How many low blows did Russell Mora allow? They suspend him for a little while, and then what do? A couple of years later, a few years later, right before I go out to Vegas, they changed the referee from Ortega, who has heavyweight championship referee experience, to Russell Mora. And I'm like, why do I know that name? I go to Google. I said, oh my God, that's the guy from the Becco Myers fight. I called Tay Jones. I said, hey man, do y'all know they did this? And Tay said, it's all good because Fury got to go in 4. Those 2 knockdowns Fury ate the deck on, that was in the 4th round. And go look at the damn counts. Here they go again. Mission completed. And never mind the fact that the fight was supposed to happen in July, but Fury had COVID. He was so sick he had to get on a plane and go see his sick daughter in the UK. Y'all remember that? And then when he came back to America, he had injections the night of the fight. Injections in his elbow? Who allowed that? That was a WBC event, was it not? WBC sanctioning body, right? Right, Mauricio? So I don't care what the hell Nedal said to you. Your response is talk to us nice? Go back and think about it, then respond. No. Now, whether Nedal responds to you or not is irrelevant. But you've been caught in enough lies. How about Franchon Cruz DAZN? All we asked that fool was, hey man, was Alejandra Jimenez, was she drug tested? And he blew a gasket. We're bullying her because she's gay. She has a child. I know her since she was a little girl. We didn't ask you that. We asked you was she tested. Come to find out, she was going through the sex change to become a man. So technically, Franchon Cruz DAZN was in the ring with a dude. Technically, a person going through the change. Whatever was in the system was not supposed to be there. That's the point. And your response is, talk to me nice? Really, man? You have a criminal track record. You have a track record of supporting criminals. What about your dealings with Daniel Kinahan? I'm not Interpol. I'm not the police. He's a nice guy. I'm only judging him based off of what I see. What did you see? You ain't got Google? You and Bob Arum running around down there. Then when America put sanctions on him and put a bounty on his head, oh, I made a boo-boo. Ain't the first time. Mauricio, I don't care what Nedal said to you. You should calm down and say, all right, you know what? You have a right to be mad. First thing we need to do is make that fight against Manny Pacquiao no contest. Second thing we need to do is compensate you. He ain't do that. What does he get? Talk to me nice. Yeah, right. The day when the Suleimans get out of boxing is the day I celebrate. I have no faith in the WBC. And I just told you why. Shout out to Nedal Hussein. And get the WBC to F up out of here. Bronx on deck.
Move!